Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, there are just 14 days until Christmas 2020. And boy, oh boy, we're busy here at the North Pole. And these next 16 hours or so are going to be really huge for Star Wars fans. Starting at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time today is the Disney Investor Call. And that could be a 3 or 4 hour event that's going to go well into the evening. And then, of course, early in the morning here Eastern time, we'll get episode 15 of The Mandalorian, chapter 15, I should say, as it is season 2, episode 7. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So, Mark Hamilton, welcome. Oh, good to have you here. We're super, super excited to talk about chapter 15. Now, Imagic Maker is with me again, as we have been doing over the past few weeks, and we plan to continue for the foreseeable future. So,
greetings and salutations.
Thank you. Yesterday, you put out your short video on predictions for chapter 15. You want to give us a brief summary here? I put a link in our description to your channel, and hopefully folks will go over there and watch it. But just give us a recap, if you would.
Yeah, so I basically went through where we've been to get here. So we've met all these different people, and I walked through that and basically how he's going to put his team together and what it's going to look like. And then I projected into the future as well. But, I mean, we know that we're going to get Migs. I don't know how long that part is going to go. It might be just a few minutes in the very beginning. But I think this is ultimately going to make Cara have to completely commit to Din's cause versus her back and forth on whether she's going to be a marshal or a combatant. And so I think that will be the piece that will solidify that. So she'll stop being with Grief Carga and move on to being with Dengar and as a teammate, and maybe go on to do future things on other series in the future. But I think this will be the episode where she has to get off the fence.
Yep. Yeah. I agree with you. I think they've kind of set Cara Dune up to be, part of the legit, right? So you've gone legit, and she's pushing back. Well, I wouldn't say I've gone that far, and I do think that having Grogu as the MacGuffin, if that's the right term to use in this situation.
It is.
If you're going to use him, is that would definitely be the motivation to push her out to do other things. And Mark, I see you. Hopefully, the Mayfeld jailbreak isn't a huge chunk of the episode. I will say I saw, as it normally does, due to European kind of laws, and I think specifically Germany, they have to put out the episode length ahead of time. So that's already been published, and it comes in right at 40 minutes. I didn't take the time to look up if it had some seconds attached to it, but it's in that 40-minute. So we're just a bit longer than last week. So don't expect a big prolonged episode here in chapter 15. If I were to guess, chapter 16 might exceed an hour. There's certainly a lot that could happen, but we'll get into chapter 16 speculation next week, and perhaps at the end here. So, so we left off chapter 14 with Din showing up and talking to Cara about trying to jailbreak Migs Mayfeld. And the assumption is that Din's going to put together a posse. And again, I use that term because it goes with Western terminology. Like they'd put together a posse and they'd go out and they'd take care of whatever needed to be taken care of. And so I very much see this to be Din's posse. And we know that he has an intent, at least, to bring in Mayfeld. That seems random to me. Not really sure why he sees Mayfeld as an integral part.
Right. Well, we know he was a previous Imperial sniper, so and that's his main tie. So I'm assuming that because he was an Imperial sniper, that he knows something about how the Imperials work, and that's why he needs him.
I see. Okay, well, I'll give you that. So let's just kind of walk across the image I put together in the thumbnail here, and talk about what we think the probability of these characters being brought into Din's posse might be. So I put Bo-Katan on the left primarily just because of that spacing, but we'll just go across there. So Exar Kun, hey there. Hey, welcome. And Josh slept in, and he's out of his time. So that good to have you here, Exar Kun. Mike Porter, my prediction: Thrawn comes in at the end. Oh, we'll get there. I don't want to jump. So, what do you think about Bo-Katan being part of the posse?
I think she'll come in at the end of this episode. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that they will get themselves into a situation once again where Bo-Katan has to rescue them.
I agree. I do not think she's part of the posse. I think she'll end up being an ally. Mm-hmm. She'll come in as part of a supporting force to attack Moff Gideon. She already has a beef with Moff Gideon, and I think she's got some skin in that game. So she certainly wants that Darksaber back. Right. And that's a primary motivator for her. And we might find that it is an opportune time for her to join forces with Din's posse so that they can coalesce there with Moff Gideon. And I agree with Mark. Right, I agree. Bo will be in the final episode, like the cavalry arriving. Right, I totally agree with that. I don't think she's going to be part of the Dale Morden. Guten Morgen. Good morning, Dale. I don't think she'll be part of the posse. So next,
I think she could show up in this episode, but it'll be her arriving again to save him. I'm not saying she doesn't show up here, but it's. She's a leader. She doesn't follow what Din does. Din will have to fall into her orbit, not the other way around.
I agree too. And I think one thing that could kind of change the thought is if Din goes to her for transportation. Right now, we know the Slave One is there, but the Slave One isn't going to be sufficient for the entire posse to travel in. Yeah. Now,
I disagree. It's a fire spray can hold a lot of people.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I think if he decides he needs more transportation, he could reach out. I don't think that's likely. I have been putting a lot of speculation. I almost did a video yesterday, but work kind of kept me from it. I think Din is very likely to end up with that quad jumper that we see at the beginning of The Force Awakens. Right. It gets blown up. The quad jumper, and I have to give credit to Mark Hamilton here. Mark found where that has already been on Navarro. That quad jumper, right? Quad jumper is a type, not a specific one. Just as by the way, the Razor Crest is a type of vehicle, not a specific. So I think it's very likely that quad jumper that's been seen on Navarro could be brought in as part of supporting force. Yeah. And that they could end up going with the quad jumper and the Slave One. And then you have Bo-Katan show up with the Night Owls in another vehicle or another ship. Right.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think they will be in their oh darn it, I can't think of what they're called. My brain just went blank on their type of ships, but in their Mandalorian ships that we've seen in both Rebels and in Clone Wars. So I think those will be the type of vessels we see them in. They won't be in the Comric class. No, that is right. Thank you, Exar Kun. But I think Eckhart's ladder might be on track to what you'll see Din Djarin's ship get. He thinks that he'll get Slave 2 from the Legends.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a reason that quad jumper has been seen on Navarro.
I mean, you might be right, and then that ties us all the way to
The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, if that's the same shit.
And it gets blown to bits, to smithereens.
Would that not be the most hilarious thing? Like when the next follow-on series starts at the Force Awakens, and it's Mando with now adolescent Yoda,
Right.
Grogu, and they look at it, they walk out, and they're like, oh.
Yeah. It's adjacent to the Force Awakens. He was actually there on Jakku.
That's right.
On a bounty hunting mission, perhaps even looking for Rey, and all of a sudden, his ship gets blown to oblivion, and he's standing there on the side watching. What the heck just happened?
That'd be hilarious.
That would be great. So. Let's see, Mark said, I like Josh's theory that during the jailbreak, Boba could recruit a few old friends. We're going to get there, my friend. We're going to get there. So Migs Mayfeld, is he going to get him freed?
Oh, yeah. I think that's a given.
I'm agreeing with you on that. So we'll skip over Den and Fennec Shand. Her and Boba Fett have already claimed allegiance to this mission to get Grogu back, and so my assumption is both of them will be part of the posse itself.
All right, I agree with that.
And then the next is Cara Dune. So we kind of talked about her a little bit. She's Marshal on Navarro, and will she take this as leaving the badge behind with Grief Carga and join the posse, and then perhaps I've thought all along they've set her up for the Bo-Katan and Cara Dune to go off on their spinoff, and it'll be a quest for regaining Mandalore, and perhaps if they don't end up with the Darksaber at the end of this season or series, that it'll be them pursuing Moff Gideon and to get the Darksaber and then continue on with the restoration of Mandalore. So right. I think Cara will leave Navarro and join with the posse. What do you think?
I agree. I think she's going to join. She's going to get off the fence, and then she's going to be locked in there with them because now she is once again a wanted person. And I like we've had this conversation before, and we think that you think there's going to definitely be a spinoff with these. The Bo-Katan series, and I do think there will be a spinoff. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's going to happen until after season 3, and so I think season 3 is going to come out, and then you're going to see the spinoff of them. And I think season 3 sets it up. So what I expect is that you have Cara Dune permanently with Dengar in season 3. And then that's when you'll have the setup and split off.
Yeah, very likely. I actually agree with you. I think that's highly likely. Season 3, I don't even know what to think about it at this point. It really depends on where we end up at the end of this season. What's going to happen in these next 2 episodes? It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say. XR, I really like Mando to get a Comrade or a Lancer class. Would be a nice upgrade. Absolutely agree. But I think he's likely to end up in that quad jumper or another new model of Razor Crest. And by the way, I was involved with the HasLab backing.
Yeah, I'd like him to end up in the Comrade class. I don't know if it's going to. I think they look pretty badass. So I would love to see them in that class of everything. But I happen to agree. I think I'm kind of along the lines that I think they'll end up with that Slave 2. I mean, I just kind of see that happening as part of the process to kind of tie in with Legends.
Yeah, it's very possible. I mean, they've been bringing in Legends left and right. So, Grief Carga, does he join the posse or does he stay behind as the new Marshal of Navarro? Trinity. Oh, welcome. Uh-oh. Imagic Maker, can you hear me? I think I lost him again. Okay. I'll let Brief Carga joining the posse or staying as Marshal of Navarro. And then we'll see if we can get a Magic Maker back on the line here. Can you hear us?
So I think Grief Carga may join them, but because only the reason I think he might is because I think ultimately he is going to betray Mando, and I think he dies, and I think that would be the only reason that would happen, and just because I kind of think that was hinted at by Carl Weathers, and if I misinterpreted that hint, then he doesn't join them. So I'm gonna say it's more likely than not that he does join them.
I'm leaning the other direction. I'm to say that he's going to stay as Marshal of Navarro, and there's a possibility. I see the comments about him betraying Din. I don't know. I just honestly don't know on that. I'm not going to go one way or the other. I think more likely he's turned his leaf and he's going to just stay as Marshal of Navarro. He's interested in maintaining the peace there and making it a hub for his operations. I think that's where he's gonna stay. And XR Kun, Mando deserves a Mandalorian ship, the Lancer class. What Ventress and Ketsuano use. I'm in favor of it. I'm in favor of it. I don't know about the Slave 2, but the Slave, the other thing is, will Boba Fett die? And then will he be, now that we've redeemed Boba Fett, made him a force to reckon with, given him a decent redemption arc, he could die more tragically at this point and be somebody who perhaps even does it in a sacrificial way to save Grogu. I'm not sure.
I don't think he would save. I just don't think it's in his character to sacrifice to save Grogu. But what I do think that he would do is if he were dying, I guess in the sense that he said that he owed him until that he was safe and he was not harmed. So I guess in that sense he could fulfill his oath by dying to save Grogu. But I don't know. I do believe the rumors that Boba Fett's going to have his own series. So
yeah, and that series is supposed to be prior to Mandalorian, so it's a backstory that fills in between Return of the Jedi and the Mandalorian, where he ends up. So, but there's also rumors that he has a significant role in season 3 of the Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's my belief, is that again they'll stay close, they'll set up these series, and they're going to start splitting off. I actually don't think that it's going to be in between. I'll tell you why. I think that Boba Fett was saved by the Tuskens. That's why he's in the Tusken gear. I think he was held honor bound to those Tuskens until that Krayt Dragon was destroyed. And until that Krayt Dragon was destroyed, he couldn't go out and get his armor from Cobb Vanth. He knew Cobb Vanth had it. That's the only reason why he was like, he was right there. Of course he knew where it was. Of course he could have gotten it from Cobb Vanth. He didn't because he was honor bound to those who saved him.
Yeah. So Mark asked a good question. What if Moff Gideon turns back up above Navarro, threatening to evaporate it or, just wipe it out unless Carga sells out Mando, gives up his location and gives up his information. Gideon could use Mando as a pawn to manipulate Grogu and go more dark side. And look, I don't buy into Grogu on dark side. I know there's people that just love that concept of falling to the dark side and then being redeemed back to the light side. I'm not buying it. It's not with me at all. So I dismissed that, but straight offhand. But I could see putting Carga between a rock and a hard spot, and his interest in saving Navarro makes him give up some information on Din and his posse. I could see that.
Yeah, I can see that too. I think he is not overtly crooked per se. He is kind of he does what's in his best interest, but it's not like he's out to be necessarily, duplicitous.
Yeah.
And
so let's move on. Who else might we see? What about some of Boba Fett's former colleagues? Let's start with Bossk. What do you think? Bossk going to be part of the jailbreak?
I don't think so, but I do think we'll see some of the original group. So I have my thoughts on who I think we will see, but I don't think it's going to be Bossk.
Yeah, no problem, Vito. I know Josh is still going. You guys are keeping up with both of us. I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. Staying on the topic of last ship, Lancer class gives CW and Rebels callback. Oh yeah, and Filoni definitely likes that. Absolutely. Let's see, Bossk would be amazing. He was riding with younger Boba. Yeah, and we've already seen this species in season 1. So I think that having Bossk show up is not out of question. I don't think it's a ludicrous idea at all. He could very well show up. We'll see.
Yeah, we don't have enough aliens. So, if he shows up, we get an alien group. We have too many humans, and we all like to have some aliens and droids. So
true. So what about Embo?
I think it'd be Bossk before Embo.
Yeah, I do too. Now, we have seen somebody wearing this type of helmet in this season. In the season episode 1. So chapter 9.
Yep.
The dude was in the crowd. So we have seen this helmet. And XR Coon, I put Embo in here just for you. I know you were going on a big Embo kick the other day. Then I was like, I'm going to go ahead and put Embo in here. Oh, and Gray said, and his hound. That'd be good.
Yeah, that's true. Just the dynamic of the hound and Embo would be would definitely change some things, and it would definitely give you, it's a little more dynamic aspect of it. So I guess it's a possibility. I haven't really considered it though, and I didn't really think about him being in the crowd and or the possibility of him being in the crowd in 9. So that kind of ups my thoughts on that. So that's definitely possible.
Well, and Mark raised another one of his favorite action figures too. Look, Lucasfilm, Disney is making a mint on selling merch, and as bad as Hasbro has been, and by the way, I got my cancellation notice from Walmart today on the exclusive Cara Dune figure that I ordered, vintage collection Cara Dune figure I ordered. They canceled it because the supply can't be filled and it's on back order. So Hasbro kicks me in the shins again, dadgummit. But I could see them definitely adding some of these characters just for merch sales alone. Oh my goodness,
well, guys, now you ain't getting it for Christmas because Santa's order ran out.
That's right.
How do you cut off Santa?
Nobody's getting the TVC Cara Dune exclusive from Walmart because they cut Santa off. They refunded the order from the North Pole. They refunded the order, so that's not good. They had the hat. It wasn't necessarily Embo in there, and it's a blinking you miss it kind of guy. That there in that crowd scene, there is a dude wearing this hat, and they are of that species, the Kyuzu or whatever it is. So, okay, let's see if I can. There seems to be a little trick here. and getting Imagic Maker back. His audio keeps cutting in and out. Let's see. Okay, I'm back.
I got you back.
Okay, I think I have we'll see. I think I have a trick to get it back. Embo, along with the crew, would help him because they're moral hunters like Mando. Yeah, love the bounty hunter episodes. The young Boba and the Obi-Wan bounty tournament were great. Oh, the cube, absolutely, that was really good. Vito, want to play this fun? Yeah, I should never be able. Hey, Reefer Man, I should never not be able to get a toy. You know, right? How could Walmart drop the ball and cut off the North Pole from getting some product? I blame Hasbro. That's see. I know.
I'm sure they're blaming COVID. We can't say that. The virus that shall not be named.
Yeah, that's right. So, Mark, I may have to hit you up on getting that Cara Dune. You know, I saw them selling. I went out and checked. They're selling on Amazon for $45 from resellers. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They gave us Trandoshans and IG units, so we got to get Dengar and Zuko's. Yeah, so let's think of the children.
That's right.
The kids. Right.
How can they do this?
Right. Next on the list, Dengar.
To me, that's the definite, because there have been a lot of rumors about Dengar coming into a series.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that I do think we will get Dengar in this episode. Dengar, he just shows up at the random places, and why not? Why not? Right.
I think he will. I mean, I just remember there were all the rumors that oh darn it, what's the actor's name who played Unkar Plot, and he's done all the crap. I can't think of his name. Comedian.
Dadgummit. Somebody will get it. Just watch it. Yeah.
That he wanted to play the character, and that the character was coming open, and he wanted to be the one that played it, and so I think that he is the one. He's coming into this. That's what I think.
And Gray, good quote from Aftermath. Everybody hates Dengar. That's good. What about my favorite? The one that would send me into absolute euphoria would be Cad Bane.
Yes, if we got Cad Bane, I would be extremely happy. But I don't think he will, because I think we're going to find he's dead.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
I think that's the story of how the dent in Boba's helmet will get told.
No, that was never canonized. Cad Bane is alive, and he's going to show up in live action. So there, just shush it.
No, I love Bane too. He's awesome, but I think that story's going to get told. I just think
oh no! And even in that story, it doesn't definitively show that he died. It just knocked his hat off, and he fell on the ground. So
yeah, it was clearly implied.
Unless I get an autopsy that proves he's dead, he's not dead. So there. Cad Bane is built. I mean, his character is absolutely written for the Mandalorian. You can't get more gunslinger, Western outlaw than Cad Bane. He has to be in there at some point.
No, you're right. I mean, he's the perfect antagonist. And I think if he was an antagonist for Boba, he'd continue to be an antagonist for Din. I think he would definitely be a good one.
We need him so bad. What about our good friend Captain Rex? Now, we did see Ahsoka. So Ahsoka showed up. What do you think the chances that Rex is perhaps part of the defensive forces there at the jail, and they'll run into him as an adversary, somebody who's trying to prevent them from freeing Mayfeld?
No, I don't see that.
Yeah, right. Right.
I don't see
know.
such a lowly end for Rex.
For me, it would be akin to seeing him on the Forest Moon of Endor, right? Right, where people said, "Hey, that looks like Rex," and now he is or isn't there. I think it's possible he could show up. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the yes category there. Maybe not as a premier character, but as a way of showing us that he's there, and that it will tie him into rejoining Ahsoka at some point there too. So let's see.
Yeah. I think it would be better if he was tied in through Cara Dune. And now, if there's a way that it's brought in, it's because she reaches out to her contact with him. Because she was a drop trooper. She's a special forces trooper, effectively, which is effectively what Rex was when they came in on that mission in Endor, right? So I do not see him being a prison guard or a military prison captain or leader there. I think that's a disgrace to Rex, if you ask me.
Good point. What do you think about Hondo? So Skingerborf here. I'm going to guess. This.
Yeah, Hondo. I could definitely see Hondo in the prison.
Well, I mean, Hondo gets around. That boy is everywhere. He's down he's in the Disney parks. They've been talking about bringing Hondo in one way or another. So, what do you think, Hondo? Yes or no? Oh, did I lose you again?
No, I'm back.
Okay. What do you think, Hondo? Yes or no?
Oh, I definitely could see him in there. He would definitely add. I don't know if he's definitely going to be there, but I would definitely love to see him. How about that?
Okay. Very good.
I like the Hondo character.
So now I'm not talking about in the finale, but in the next episode, would Ahsoka return?
No.
No, I say no as well. What about Sabine Wren?
No.
No, I say no as well. Now I've got another, and I think this is interesting. What about these two dudes?
Possible. I'll give it a 55% chance that they show up, and the reason being is because somebody needs to pass judgment on Cara and then come and understand the reason. Yeah.
I think it's very possible we could see him. Let's see. I just get caught up here. I saw something. Rex probably dead though, because of age. That's what you're thinking, Lord Vito. I'm not sure. Ara Singh. So Gray says she doesn't believe that Ara Singh is dead. I considered Ara Singh, but I think she is dead.
Yeah, I think she's dead.
Yeah. What if the prison breaks a misdirect? Misdirect for what, Mike? It's good. Rex is going to be hanging out, busting up perps, flapping their gums at the jail. Oh, more of a detective, maybe. Huh? Oh, good point. Cad Bane's too old to be a senior citizen.
I don't know how Aduro ages, so
yeah, I don't either. Yeah, Aura would be great, but yeah, she's definitely dead. All species age different. Right. What if the show starts with Mayfeld already there with Din? Ooh. So he's already gotten him.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it would be. I don't know. Hondo. Yeah, Hondo's a favorite. Everybody loves Hondo. How
do you do the live action with him though? It's like they'd have to have the voice. The voice has to stay the same.
Oh, yeah, it has to. Yeah, love his accent. You're right, Hondo, and it's yeah. No Ahsoka, no Sabine. What about Trapper Wolf?
Well, if we get the pilots, of course.
That's a pilot here.
Yeah.
Yep, I think so. I think that's and then What about these other X-Wing pilots? Our other directors?
Possible. I mean, I think we're going to see the two that we've seen.
Yeah.
You know, if those come in, they'll be both. They'll be the main two we've seen before.
Right. Yeah. They're going to show up. Yeah, these two are going to show up and save everybody like they did against the giant spiders. Oh, that's great. Mark, we're getting a Black Series RSing next year. Yeah, but she's dead. Darth Vader. Oh, Lord Vader. Good to see you made it. A lack of faith disturbing. Yeah. Who's the guest? This is for those of you that haven't kept up, Imagic Maker and I became friends a couple years ago, participating in Thor Skywalker's Discord, and since then we've collaborated on his channel and mine. We've stayed in touch. We've become better friends, and Imagic Maker and I have. I made a channel announcement a few weeks ago. Every Thursday, we'll be talking Star Wars together. It's discussing Star Wars, and we come from a little different perspectives. If you haven't already picked up on some of that, so that's a Magic Maker. He'll be with me every Thursday. Johnny
Mine
Depp
is the right perspective, and his is the Christmas perspective.
I'm afraid not. Johnny Depp is Hondo. I don't know about that.
No, it's got to be the same voice. I think you have, unless the actor is like really like, I don't know, like monstrously huge, then I think you got to go with I got to have the same voice.
Yeah. With Feige behind the wheel, anything could happen. Well, now, Vito, that's interesting. We've been thinking about the 3 Fs for a while: Filoni, Favreau, and Feige. It very well could be that in the investor call that they announced that Feige is going to head up both Marvel and Star Wars or Lucasfilm Studios under the Disney umbrella. We know that Kathleen Kennedy is still president of Lucasfilm, but Feige could very well be her replacement. I have no doubt that he could definitely do it. He's the right man for the job, and we have the 3 Fs running the studio. What do you think?
Do not think that's going to happen. I think that they're going to hold off on Kathleen Kennedy's announcements until D23. I think they'll wait that long. So we won't have any definitive answer for where Kathleen Kennedy's going to go somewhere, and it'll be I don't think she's retiring, and I don't think she's going to leave without having a better place to land, and I think she has the heft to demand it.
Y'all, no question, and Josh has talked about it on the Den of Nerds and on the Nerd Theory stream that there's a lot of respect for her in-house, and she has earned it in-house. And it's just that the fans have a really negative connotation associated with her, but she'll go on her terms according to her conditions when she's ready. I absolutely agree. But I think that she may see that this is the opportunity. I think she's pushing 70.
Yes.
So this, and we just saw recently that one reason Lucas decided not to do the sequels is because he thought it would take 10 years, and he was 70, and he wanted to raise his daughter. Right. And so he put a priority over raising his daughter over doing the sequels. And Kathy's right in that age group now. Will, yeah, Hondo is Jack Sparrow in space. Oh, there's no question he's Jack Sparrow in space. Yeah. I think Feige. Look, Vito, I think Feige would actually be president over both studios. He may become the president of Disney Studios as they start talking about all of the movie franchises or series franchises. He may actually get a big promotion and be head over all of it.
Right. I agree that Feige could easily take over these things. I think that that if you don't give Kennedy her way to move up, and I think this is, in all honesty, I think she's got to be recognized for the things she has done. I mean, and I know that a lot of people like to disparage Kathleen Kennedy, and are pissed off about the sequel trilogy, and I'm one of those people that are kind of with them, but the truth of it is that I don't believe she failed up, and so just because she made a mistake with a trilogy, in my opinion and others' opinions, that doesn't make her a failure.
No.
And so this aspect of things, and Filoni and Favreau are still under her. I don't believe that I mean, I don't deny that it's probably a conversation for her and Feige and Iger brought Favreau over to them. I mean, Favreau is the golden child, but it was
Right.
there's a lot more to running a studio than running, a writing and running a series.
That's right.
Even as popular as it might be. So sure, could Favreau move up into that group? Could Feige take over it? Absolutely. But I think that they have to understand that sometimes you make some really crucial decisions, and sometimes those crucial decisions turn out to be bad ones.
Right.
And so any person who's ever led any group, they have failed and they have succeeded, and so sometimes the decisions don't come to the fruition of what you planned. And
Right.
I think if you're good, you cannot hammer Kennedy over that. She's taking advice. Listen, she didn't have to take the advice of these guys. I mean, they could have tried to, snowball her and force her into, and I don't think that happened. I think she listened to them and went, okay, listen, we're looking out there. We have a backlash. How do we fix this? And she brought them in. She gracefully took their advice, and I think she implemented it.
If you go back and you watch the docuseries on the making of the Mandalorian season 1, Favreau says straight off the bat that Kathy is the one that greenlit him building the volume, and he had the idea. He gets the credit for making it, but he directly gave her credit for allowing it to happen and funding it and putting the support of ILM Lucasfilm Studios behind it to make it happen. So that's her role, is to make those kind of decisions. But
right.
That's not at all to say that she gets credit for building the volume. That was Favreau's invention. And
Sure.
It has absolutely changed filmmaking forever, I think. And we're going to see budgets come down. We're going to see more, higher quality in streaming shows. It's made a big difference. So
right, but see, Kathleen Kennedy never made those decisions. It was never her decision to build the volume or to expand the way films are made, or change how movies and things are done. Innovation is not her job, and it never has been her job.
No,
those were the realms of Spielberg. That was the realms of Lucas. It was her job to figure out how to get them the money to innovate.
That's right, and she did it. And right. So XR Kuhn, Feige will take Alan Horn's spot. I do think that will happen. I absolutely think that will happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Kathleen Kennedy move up into some position like that initially, and then with Feige taking some sort of role where he's just handling Star Wars and Marvel, and then he eventually moves into that position. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that happen, and that lets her retire from that, and then she gets the credit for Marvel and for Star Wars and for anything that Pixar comes out with and other Disney films. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see that happen.
All the ill. Oh, welcome. Good to see you here, new listener to our show. If Cad Bane is revealed as a prisoner, that would be fantastic. Santa has to translate these things. It's hitting me that Boba could run into these fools and settle the score. It could be. Wu-Tang.
Did you see the episode just beginning? Just walking down the the prison, and he's just shooting people inside the prison.
in their cells.
We're like, wow, I didn't see that as the opening.
Yeah. Russell, a good point. We want someone we could trust running the IPs. I think Disney wants somebody that the fans support. They know that that's important, and it will come in. But for the reasons that Imagic Maker stated, I absolutely believe that Kathy's going to do everything on her terms. It's not going to come from outside. Feige can do anything. Good grief. She is one of the most successful producers ever. Indiana Jones, Gremlins. Oh, she can stand on her own merit. RJ was the spanner in the works, right? Most of it is tied to her relationship with Rian Johnson. Exactly. The sequels are the kind of poison pill that a lot of fans have with her. Me personally, I love the sequels, and I don't have a problem with it. But I absolutely understand the issues. Sir Nerd a lot. Welcome. Filoni said at a private gala, right? So. I heard Josh talk about this on Nerd Theory that Dave Filoni said that Kathleen Kennedy was responsible for getting the Clone Wars Season 7 greenlit by Disney when they didn't want to. Yeah. She gets credit for, she gets blamed for a lot of stuff, and people don't want to give her credit where it's due. And like I said, I think within Lucasfilm itself, she has a lot of respect, and she's thought of highly.
Yeah. Isn't it the mark of a leader, though, that takes all the blame and
right.
then spreads all the success out to everyone else? I mean, isn't that what we call a leader? And yet,
I agree.
Exactly what we're having happen. And now we want her gone.
I think it's the buck stops here has to be part of it, and she has to take accountability for her mistakes as well, and or her lack of definitive leadership. So. While she has tremendous successes, and again, I'll restate, I think she leaves on her terms. She's earned it, and she's going to keep it. I absolutely understand the criticism.
I don't hate Kennedy. I think she made some mistakes, but we all do. I mean, people thought, and to some degree, I agree with them that George made mistakes with the prequels. Even as much as I've come to love them, but when they first came out, I didn't love. The Attack of the Clones. I didn't love that movie. I walked out and went, holy crap, that's maybe the first Star Wars movie I don't like.
Yeah. So, XR I'm waiting for Volume 2.0, the Volume 2.0 warehouse size with a full dome and 16K. Oh, it's coming, XR and I would say that Season 2 of The Mandalorian has already stepped up. We're probably at version 1.2 or something, 1.5 right now. And when we get to version 2.0, it's like you say, in a warehouse or hangar, that kind of thing. Absolutely. Will, I feel the sequel shouldn't be seen as a failure. Right. I don't think it should be a failure either. They did divide the fandom as a whole, but I don't see them as a failure at all. There are lots of there's a whole new generation coming along, much like with the prequels. That associate with the sequels and will have fond memories of them and will be defending them 20 years from now.
Yeah, I think that they're going to take these series and get this on track, and they'll fill in blanks. They'll make us see the sequels in a different light, and the same way that we did with the prequels and the Clone Wars. And I think ultimately, to me, this, if you want to know what Filoni's MO is and what he's should be credited for, is fixing everything that ever gets messed up within Star Wars.
Right. And Mark raises a point here. Filoni said that Kathy bats for him, and the Filoni-verse wouldn't be happening without her. I agree. And again, Favreau has given her credit for allowing him to bring to vision the volume, and Filoni is giving her credit for his career going where it's going and putting him where he can have the influence that he has. So, another thing is people learn. And I went into some, I don't want to go too far down because I want to get back to our predictions on chapter 15. But look, I don't think Lucasfilm had the kind of of culture that led into a lot of pre-planning, because George Lucas himself did a lot of things by the seat of his pants, and he was retconning things in the midst of things, going back to the original trilogy and the prequels. Those things changed mid-stride, and he was making it up as he went in large degree. So I don't think he built a culture in Lucasfilm that when Kathy took over had this deep planning and this really strong thread going through it. And they were still doing the seat of your pants kind of thing that George kind of built. And they've learned from their mistakes. And you see now lots of planning going in. You saw that in The Gallery, that docuseries, where they did lots of planning. The stories were written out in detail before they ever put a camera in front of anybody. And we saw it with the High Republic novels. Those were very strongly planned before anybody wrote a chapter. So they've definitely changed the culture. And Kathy has learned from her mistakes.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think you're absolutely on track with that. I mean, just look at the attention to detail when it comes to the chain code in the last episode.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, and we're seeing that across the board, like all the Arabesh on the, whether it's the X-wings or in the readout on the Razor Crest. I mean, they actually say something. I mean, it's not just something that's made up. It's not just crazy language. So they're now realizing that, listen, Star Wars fans look at every little detail. So we need a plan to every little detail.
Yeah. Anthony, am I saying, are you excited for the possibility of Keanu Reeves being a Star Wars? Yes. And I know this is a fan casting. A lot of people wanted to see Keanu Reeves come in and for us to get the kind of series that where he could reprise his role as why did I just lose it? The series of movies that Keanu Reeves did. Anyway, I think I lost. Okay, hold on one second. I got to bring him back. Are you back? He's back. I'd be extremely excited to see Keanu Reeves. Kathy doesn't help herself in the PR front, right? They do need.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. As long as Filoni, let's see, Dale. Her only failure is the response. Right. They haven't handled that well at all. Russell, I think Kathy is a Skrull, but hey, that's just some wild Marvel stands inner thoughts. Mark, I have problems with the sequel trilogy, Mando and Filoni verse. Right. It's super excited to be a Star Wars fan now. Where we're headed with the Filoni verse cures a lot of ailments. Absolutely agree. XR Coon, since we got the volume now, can we please get that Underworld show right? And I think what we're going to see in the investor call today, from all rumors, is we're going to see it explode. We're going to see the might of Disney Studios put towards green lighting as much as they possibly can. Dark Winter, hello. If it were me, I lost it. Just a second, I got to go up. If it were me, I'd have them stage the prison break, intending to reorganize on Navarro. They could absolutely head back to Navarro to reorganize, or they'll just go straight after Moff Gideon.
I think they're going to go straight. I don't think they're coming back to Navarro.
Yeah,
but that could be
right. Wu-Tang Wells. Earlier in Josh's stream, I was remembering the days he'd only have 20 people in chats. Yeah, look here. I've got over 20 today. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate you all coming and supporting me today. I remember when it was a small group too, Wu-Tang Wells. Will Morgan, this season of Mando has made a lot of what people call wasted episodes relevant. It absolutely has. It has. Thank you, Gray. God bless you. Thanks so much. Can't wait to look back on the days with.
That's really sweet.
I know. I love Gray. She's great. Mark, probably another stream to break down, but the original writer art for this sequel wanted 5 years. Yeah, we can get into that another time. Anthony, Keanu Reeves movies. Yeah, the John Wick. Right. So the people wanting the Star Wars John Wick series, and I'm for it. Give him a lightsaber and have him kicking some tail. Let's do it. Let's do it.
You killed my loft cat.
Oh yeah. Good one, a Magic Maker. Good one. Do you remember lettering sign on the wall in the laundry room, season 7? I want to talk about some of the stuff. Yes, I do remember that that lettering in the wall. I think that was done by a fan, not by. But anyway, Boba Fett, Fennec, Din, Bo, and company with the escapees debating helping Navarro, leading Din and Boba Fennec. I'm super excited to see what happens. Dale, what's the sisters' names? The Rodriguez sisters, right, from season 7. Yeah. Hey, we'll see you later, Trinity. Thanks for being here. Keanu Reeves for Revan, right? And there's a lot of rumor about a Revan series being greenlit. So
yeah, that was in the writing almost 2 years ago at this point, and that was I remember doing a episode on that. How the writer that was doing who wrote Alita Battle Angel.
Yep. So Anthony asks, have we got to our predictions for who we expect to be on the team? Yes, we have. So let's just kind of wrap it up. I've got a couple other people to ask. Is Moff Gideon going to be in chapter 15? Will they get to him in this next chapter, or may he just show up at the end? He's for chapter 16. I
don't think he'll be the main portion of it. I think he might show up at the end, but it's just to kind of give you the tease as to what's going to happen in the last episode.
Are they going to get Grogu back in this episode? Did I lose you? I think I lost him. Let's try again. I've got a little trick here that gets a Magic Maker back. All right. Are we going to get Grogu in? Is he going to get brought back? A Magic Maker, can you hear me? I can hear you typing. So
I'm having trouble hearing you again. So
okay,
but
yeah, are they? They going to rescue?
Having to type to me.
Grogu. Right. So there's my question. Are they going to rescue Grogu? I don't think so. I say no.
No, they will not. I got you back. So the answer is no. They will not rescue. The Grogu will not occur until the next episode. That's 16. That will not happen in this one. Do we get Ezra in 15? No. Do we get Luke in 15? No.
Okay, that's where I was headed. Right. So I don't think they will rescue him. I think they might get him they may rescue Grogu in 16, but we'll talk about that next week after we've seen 15. Ezra Bridger showing up in chapter 15? No possible way. And will Luke Skywalker show up in this next episode? No, not going to happen. Neither will any other Jedi. I just don't think we're going to get that in this next episode. We may get, at the very end, we may see who shows up on Tython with a little like cut scene. But that would be the most. But I don't think he'll be part of, or he or she, whatever, whoever responds to the beacon, I don't think will show up in this episode as far as contributing towards anything. So there you go. So who do you have on the posse? So for me, I have Migs, Fennec Shand, Boba Fett, Cara Dune, and that's it. I have that as the posse with Dengar.
I would add probably one of the other bounty hunters. I think you'll get one of those. I think that's a good possibility that you'll get.
And you think Grief Carga will join them?
I think it's a possibility for sure. Either that, they go back to Navarro, which I just don't see happening. So I think that that Grief Carga is more likely than not to be a part of it.
So bonus question: Does Din get his new vehicle in this episode? The one that he's going to keep?
No.
Yeah. I don't think he will either. I think he might get it in 16. No, I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say that Grief does get his vehicle in the next one. I'm gonna say that it's the quad jumper. And
okay. So
think
Din gets a quad jumper in the next one. So they are going back to Navarro. He takes the quad jumper in the next one.
He's on Navarro right now. And I think they're going to leave Cara Dune's office with a plan. And I think she has earned or has favors from whoever owns the quad jumper right now, and that she can call in those favors and get it gifted to Din as his vehicle. And so I think that
if it's Grief Carga's ship, what if it's Grief Carga's ship and then Grief Carga dies and then he gets it? That's a possibility.
Well, it is a possibility.
I did not consider that. So maybe you are correct that it is the quad jumper and that it gets blown up on in The Force Awakens.
Yeah. Din, Boba, and his team, Bo-Katan. So Anthony, Din, Boba, and his team are Bo-Katan and the Night Owls, Hera, Cobb, Cara. Hera is an interesting choice. I know you brought it up the other day. I don't know that we'll introduce Hera Syndulla in this season. I don't think so.
I don't see that happening either. I actually don't see them coming into play in this series at all. Actually. So Mike says it's the Mithril ship. So yeah, I guess I could. Is really the Mithril going to complain about the Din taking the quad jumper because he's okay? Okay.
Yeah, I think, I absolutely think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to get the quad jumper. I'm sold on it. Park, were we supposed to get some sort of Cara and Bo dynamic? Yeah, I think so, and I think a Magic Maker made a good point about that being that relationship being built in season 3. That they may join up here together in chapter 16, and then it'll continue on to season 3. Is XR Coon is Santa Southern? No, but a Magic Maker is. Yeah, yeah, I'm all in on the quad jumper for sure. Let's see. I gotta get caught up here, Mike. It's the Mithril ship, right? All chips in on in the center table, right? Rafa and Trace Martez, the Martez sisters, right? Jason Syndulla is the Jedi that answers the call. But Dale, I think you could be right. It could be Jason. That's a big call back to Rebels. It may be too inside baseball, though.
He's too young. He's still too young. He'd only be like 14 or 15.
Yeah. Dark Winter. I suspect we'll only see the figure that I'm assuming you mean the Jedi that answers the call at the end of 16. The Luke Skywalker Force Awakens scene, right? Could be. Anthony, what are the biggest ships that the Rebellion has that Din can use? Well, I mean, Bo-Katan has been raiding the Moff Gideon's fleet. And I don't know what Bo may have stolen. That vehicle that she got there at the end of her episode is pretty big. I mean, that holds a lot of people. I think we've lost the Magic Maker again. Let me see if I can get him back in.
All right, I got you.
You're back. You're back. Yeah. I think the largest one that they have right now is the one that they had at the that Bo-Katan got in her episode.
Oh yeah, the darn it. It starts with a G. Yeah. I'm so awful with names in this one.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything.
XR's posse is Bo, Cara, Boba, Fennec, Grief, the Mithril, and Cobb. Oh,
I
Cobb
forgot about the Mithril. I don't see any way that Cad Bane could be a part of it. I don't see him going back.
And the Mithril's too. He's too wishy-washy.
Yeah, but they'll just say 30 years off your sentence.
Yeah, if Mando got the Bad Batch ship though. Oh, I like where you're thinking, Park Outdoors, but I don't know that they're going to cross over to the Bad Batch.
Gazanti class.
Yeah, Mike, Hera has to be a part of the series that has Thrawn in it. Oh, I think that you're absolutely right. She'll be part of that. And
yeah,
I talked about it the other day. I think we're going to end up with a spinoff series after the search for Ezra Bridger. The one that's going to feature Ahsoka and the Ghost crew is going to take place in the Ascendancy space in unknown regions, and they'll be fighting the Grisk. And I think that's where that series is going to take place, and Thrawn will be featured greatly.
Yes, yeah, I do think that's the case, and I think that's where they're headed, and I have my reasons how they'll all tie back together in the future. So,
we aren't seeing the Syndulas until Cassian Andor series. Could be. Could be. It could get a U-wing, Mike. He could. I just don't know if they're that close with the Rebellion yet, or the new. We should say the New Republic. But there's still kind of this gray area with the New Republic, so I don't think so.
They could steal one from the prison, though. Maybe.
They could steal one. Dark Winter. What if they get the Falcon? I would love to see him in the Falcon. I just don't. I don't think so.
Well, they're one of the alter egos that stole the Falcon.
Well, it was stolen, right? The Falcon was stolen. Han talks about it being taken by by different folks, and it could be in a chain of ownership right now that's outside of Han's control, but I don't think so. Let's not mess around. Let's just get the Ghost, the gang on the Ghost, right? People would lose their minds to see the Ghost involved heavily. I guess it could happen in Chapter 16, but I'll hold off on that. Dark Winter. Say Han and Chewie from the movie. Oh, you're going to get Han and Chewie flying the Falcon. They still have it, and get them in the that's a new one. I've never seen anybody predict getting Han and Chewie involved in the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, but
I don't either.
I wouldn't necessarily be against it. I just don't know how you recreate a Han that everybody would accept. Right.
Dale, I agree with you. Bo and Din are going to be separate. They won't get together until she shows up in time for something big. Right. She'll join them up. They'll join forces in Chapter 16.
Yeah, I think you might see them at the end of 15. I think there's a good chance they show up at the end of 15.
Yeah.
But they won't do anything together until 16.
Gene's guy's going to show up on the helicopter. There you go. Oh, you guys are great.
Gene's guy is definitely going to be part of the posse. Let's know that. Posse Comitatus is getting used for Gene's guy to bring him in.
Research on Star Wars. By the time the Mandalorian series happened, Hera's already a general for the Rebellion, possibly a Jedi Master. Oh, so Hera could be the Jedi who responds, is what you're saying? Well, that'd be interesting. Nobody's thrown that out there yet.
Hera is a Jedi Master?
That's what Anthony's saying. She could possibly be a Jedi Master.
I don't. She didn't train to be a Jedi before. I don't think she has the use of the Force.
Yeah, I don't. Let's see. Hera would be fantastic as a regular supporting in Cassian. Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I definitely could see her in that. I mean, that's what that was all being run at the same time as a. So we know that the battle on Lothal supposedly is occurring at the same time as A New Hope in the timeline. I think that's, if I remember correctly, and so they're not together, but we know they go back to that, even though we know the ghost is at Scarif.
Yeah. But Mike, Boba gives him Slave 2. We did speculate. I think a Magic Maker, you think he's going to get Slave 2.
Yeah, I think that's a good possibility to bring it out of the Legends. I mean, it would be a good play for all of us. But I'm not opposed to him getting the quad jumper. I just don't know if it feeds the fan service part of things. I think that would be fan service, but I think it would definitely be a worthy fan service.
It's already been on Navarro. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not opposed to it. I'm saying that I just think that if getting that would make a lot of EU fans go oh.
Well, knowing that it's going to get blown to bits in TFA makes it fun.
Yes, that's very true. I mean, people tying those pieces together so we could put Mando on put Dengar on Jakku and
right, and it could be a regular thing. His vehicles just get blown to bits, and that's it. It's like, oh, not another one, right? Like, Burke, I wish I could. Burke's going to be covering the event this afternoon, and so I know you're going to be covering that live. He had to leave us, but thanks so much, Burke. Better Sanuba than Gunji. Oh, okay, you guys are going out on limbs. They want a Han and Chewie TV series. Well, there is rumors of the Solo 2 being moved to a series, a limited run series, much like Obi-Wan, and continue that Solo trilogy in limited series form. I think that very well could get announced today.
Yeah, I think they're going to announce official dates for the ones we've heard, and then they'll probably talk about how many series they have in the works, but they won't tell us any names. That's what I think.
The Lando series, I forgot, that was definitely rumored as well. Hera is schooling her son. Well, that's true, but I don't know about in the ways of the Force.
Right.
The Ghost is in Rogue One. It is. Is there a way you can connect Mandalorian to a possible Mace Windu series? Well, of course there's a way, Anthony.
There's a way to do anything.
Mace could show up on that planet. I just said it.
Tython.
Tython. Yeah, Mace could absolutely be the guy who shows up on Tython.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just think some people have got to stay dead.
He's not dead. He doesn't stay dead because he never was dead.
We have now brought back everybody that we thought died somewhere or another.
Except Padme. When
right.
you die of sadness, you're dead
That's right.
forever.
That's the only way to die in Star Wars is to die of sadness.
Boba's original ship given to his dead by Jaster Mariel. Oh boy, that's digging deep into lore.
I don't know if Legends ever clarified that it was given to him by Jaster Mariel, but it was. Let's say this: that the fire sprays are a prison patrol ship. Typically, they're used for many, and one of those is prison. And it's not the only thing it's used for, but one of them. It was designed to carry prisoners.
So, Mike, a word of warning here: when you start growing out the beard, there's an itchy phase that you have to survive. I strongly encourage getting some beard butter. Beard butter, it's not like butter. It conditions your beard, makes it softer and less itchy. So there you go.
Yep.
I see Lando arranging a replacement Razor Crest. You could tie in Lando series. That's my second thought, is that he'll end up in another Razor Crest model. I know I wouldn't say anything about ships, but I don't want Mando to get another ugly ship. I definitely don't want him to get that one that a lot of people are thinking of, and I think that's the Slave 2. I'm not a fan of that. Is that the one?
I definitely don't want it being called the Slave 2, but I want the ship. I'd be okay with that.
The Mace Windu show is a prequel, right? That would fall into this series, into this area. 20 minutes to, I believe it said. There's a great video by Megan Trainor singing of Santa. I'm a huge fan of the song.
About the bass?
No. It's about Santa Claus. I believe in Santa.
Okay. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the Star Wars one. This is all about
they survived Order 66. Boba captures.
Yeah, I mean, they said no body equals not dead. You know, I mean, I get that. I mean, that makes complete sense. And I mean, the truth of it is that we've been led to believe so many people are dead in Star Wars. They keep bringing them back.
Right.
You know, at some point, you can be like, "Oh man, nobody ever dies."
What? Right. I mean, the best one was Maul, of course. I mean, the guy's chopped in half, falls down a thing, and then and then he's alive. How did that happen? But for people that didn't watch the Clone Wars and they just saw him show up at the end of the Solo. I had several people reach out to me and say, "What? Like, what did I just see?" The Emperor died in that Death Star shaft. I mean, the other Emperor's a clone, right? Samuel just picks up the role, right? Yeah, Samuel Jackson would be great. I know he's been petitioning bring back Mace Windu for a long time. Magic Maker and I watched the interview with Anthony. I watched the interview with George Lucas where he said that Mace is not dead after his fight with Palpatine. I think I saw the opposite of that. But, hey, either way. We have gone very long today. I've had a lot of fun talking. I think we have our stakes in the sand and we can take score on Monday after the we'll see who shows up in the posse. If Moff Gideon, if they confront Moff Gideon in this episode, or if that's the cliffhanger for next, and if Bo-Katan is part of the posse, or she comes in on the side. I think she was going to come in on the side, and we'll then get his new vehicle. So lots of things to look forward to in the morning. I'm super excited. I wish I could go to bed right now and sleep until about 4, and then stay up for 12 hours. So,
I do my 2-minute hot take after all of these. So, I mean, it'll be out in the morning, and we'll talk about it. Really, I mean, it's a really fast talk. And I try to do all the highlights. So, I mean, we'll definitely have to come back and see where we are on the score with this, and see how this played out. And as far as the interview there, Anthony, I think what he said is that there was a possibility he wasn't dead. And then, because I remember there was a period of time after that where they speculated if Samuel L. Jackson was going to come back, and he said, "Hell yeah, I'll come back as Mace." And so I do remember that period, but I don't think that he said definitively that he's alive. I have to go back and look, but I think that was the case.
Well, we have a 40-minute episode coming, give or take a few seconds. And I cannot wait to do. I'll do a spoiler-free review tomorrow. Be short, recorded, and then Monday we'll do a deep dive. A Magic Maker will be putting out a review, spoiler-filled review tomorrow, with his hot takes, and we will keep score on Monday and see how we did. And I cannot wait till next week to see where this is all going. Dark Winter, good final question. Do we think they're going to go to Camino? Do we think Camino is going to get
without a doubt? That's where I think we're going.
Oh, I say no.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a hogwash, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, folks, we've got to cut it here. I've gone really long. I could get back to work. The elves are super busy. We've only got 14 days until Christmas. Oh my goodness! So, you guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Walmart failed on their order.
Walmart, Hasbro, bad. You can't cut Santa toy supply off. You just can't do that.
Can't get help these days.
No, I'm telling you what, good suppliers are hard to find. So you guys have a wonderful day. It's a super exciting day coming up, and I can't wait to talk to you all next time. Until then, Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye.